So first of all, a brief introduction. My name is Tatiana. I am a representative of the International Department at Thompson Rivers University, but I am also an alumni of this university, so we'll be happy to answer any questions relating to student life as well, so not just the program and the university structure. But first of all, who we are. TRU is a third public university in British Columbia, third largest, I would say, public university in British Columbia. However, as a university, we also really value that experiential learning component. So throughout the whole journey at TRU, we are really trying to embed as much as possible that experiential learning opportunity through the classes, through lab components, especially on science faculty. So you also understand the practicality behind what you study. Outside of that, we also prefer to still keep and provide an intimate classroom environment. So you see that the average classroom size is 31 to probably 40 students. That's the average classroom size that we have. When you access in your labs, which is usually right away, we don't wait until closer to graduation, but our labs are even smaller. I would say 15 students, 10 to 15. So we want every student to practice on the equipment and to understand how to use that. So that's really what we value. Proper environment where you ask questions, when you engage in dialogue, challenge, maybe meet your peers as well. So that's the right environment we find. Of course, most of our students, they are local Canadian students, but we also have a really good diverse population from around the world. On any given semester, I would say that we have anywhere from 97 to 103 countries represented globally. So it gives you also a good opportunity to engage with students from around the world, not just local Canadian students. We're also a campus-based university, which is, I think, quite important to understand that you have that infrastructure, all the facilities and amenities that you will be accessing as a student free of charge. With some exceptions, like gym, for example, you are getting 50% off gym memberships, so on a discount, but lots of other facilities you basically access as a student for free. That includes our aquatic center with Olympic-sized swimming pool, water slides, jacuzzi, so that is basically accessed with your student ID card. Lots of different facilities that you will be utilizing as a student, of course, including lots of study spaces, anything from open concept space to private room that you can book to practice, say, presentation with your group or work on another group project. There's even nighttime study spaces, cubicle study spaces. So, all over the campus. Labs, including computer labs that you access throughout different buildings, right, with your personal private login and password. So don't worry about carrying your laptop at all times. There's housing options on our campus, but I want to talk about housing separately. Of course, other amenities, including bus stops if you want to connect with the rest of the city, which, speaking of our location in terms of the city limits, we are not on the outskirts. We are basically, I would say, in the modern city center where everything is within the walking distance from a campus. That includes your major grocery stores like Superstore, Walmart, including major banks, different coffee shops, restaurants. So easy to navigate around as well. But as I mentioned, bus service is also available for students. A few bus stops on the campus as well, so you can easily access that, and you do not pay for public transportation. You will access that with your student ID card as well. Some sport facilities like outdoor basketball courts, we have dance studio, we have indoor running track, outdoor running track. We briefly talked about gym, right? So lots of other amenities and facilities on campus. Different cafeterias for you to either buy coffee, grab a bite, proper cafeterias where you can buy proper meal, either it's breakfast or your lunch. For example, our culinary arts students, they run their own cafeterias, so you access, good restaurant quality meals on a student budget. So overall, that student life, vibrant campus life and experience that you are able to access once you get to TRU. In terms of our location on the map, we are based in a city called Kamloops. Kamloops is just about 45-minute flight from Vancouver. I bet that you probably all heard of the city of Vancouver. So we're just about 45-minute flight inside the province. There's also bus connection that you can catch on daily basis, multiple buses, but it's a slower mode of transportation. So budget in about 4.5 to 5 hours if you want to get here by bus. There's also other connecting flights like Calgary, for example, about 50 minutes and you can get to Kamloops from Calgary. And pre-COVID, and hopefully soon enough will open again, we usually have seasonal flight directly to Toronto. So those are basically the options of how to get to the city of Kamloops. The city provides lots of benefits for students as well, because first of all, still, the cost of living, that affordability concept is still there. You can easily save on your living expenses in Kamloops compared to other cities. I would say roughly 30 to 25%, depending on the choice, of course, of accommodation and the spending habits. But the cost of living, the affordability aspect is still there. And of course, the city of Kamloops provides that sense of a community. So it's easy to transition, to adjust to the new environment, not just the university setting, but in general, life in Canada. The city is very welcoming, very friendly, lots of different opportunities to start volunteering, engaging with different organizations within the city. And of course, for those students considering further medical education and studies, that volunteer experience is crucial. You need to enhance basically your resume. So it's not just the academics and your GPA that will matter, but it's also your life outside of the university. And of course, those volunteer opportunities within health sector, I would say. Will be a beautiful destination for those who enjoy natural sceneries, more active lifestyle, I would say, some outdoor activities as well. So lots of hiking trails, mountain biking, one of the best trails. There's different lakes in the area. In general, very scenic, I would say, destination, known as a tourism destination as well. For those who want to learn to play golf, for example, we're also a golf destination too. And for those who are eager to get into some winter sports, maybe, there's a second largest ski resort, Sun Peaks, just about 45-minute drive from the city. I think it's also important to talk about economy and industries, just to understand, what are the options afterwards, or maybe during your studies, because as a student, you are allowed to engage in part-time job opportunities, no more than 20 hours per week, though, so keep that in mind. So there's definitely, lots of different industries that we have in the city and area, and the city is constantly developing and growing. Health sector, as you can see, is one of the largest providers, right, I would say, in the area in terms of economy, together with educational sector. So it's the university as well as school district and other industries that are present here. So, for example, tourism, your retail sector, transportation sector, banking, finance, right? But as I mentioned, health sector and servicing, right? Industries around health sector are really strongly represented here in the city. So some of the sources that you can study for yourself to learn more is WorkBC, definitely, highly recommended, because you can learn about different economy profiles through that website. Now, with Faculty of Science, as I already mentioned, for us, we really value that hands-on experience. We want students to engage in hands-on studies, but there's also opportunities for research. You can conduct your own independent research if you want to get honors degree, for example, or you can be a part of the research that is currently taking place with one of the faculty members. So those are the options as well. You can also join them as, for example, a research assistant. Those are the, options available for you, basically. Now, I want to talk about, I think, health-related sciences in general and sciences, and give you a bit of a perspective of requirements here in Canada. Medical schools in Canada, they are considered professional schools. So they usually accept mature students. That means that you need to have first degree completed, and that is usually your degree around biology. So science will be usually the first step for students who are really eager to get into medical school. Your GPA will be very important, not just within the last 2 years of graduation, but basically your full journey, right? GPA matters. But there are also health-related sciences that still will get you to the hospital environment. So in Canada, just slightly different perspective. Medical schools do not accept high school students. They only accept mature students, as I mentioned. So what can we do for you as a university? We can definitely give you an option of either degree completion. We also have opportunity for you to come to what we call a visiting student category. So visiting students, they can come for either one semester or for 2 semesters, 1 academic year. You take classes and then you can transfer them back to your university. So you can enhance as well your international experience on top of that. And you can select different courses from our science portfolio. So let's talk more about that science portfolio. We have different majors. Of course, those that I would recommend to go through are biology related courses, classes, and majors. And I highlighted just some, right, just to give you a glimpse of what students can take, just so you can have a perspective as a science students, what can you study? Because you can see we have different areas within the biology major. So they can be molecular, cellular, microbial biology, human anatomy biology, cellular, chemical. So those are your options. So you can see, for example, you can take class like molecular genetics or immunology, for example, and enhance or add to your current curriculum. We can also pre-plan, right? See what are the classes that could potentially be transferred back to Karazin University. So then through taking that semester with TRU or 2 semesters with TRU, you are also meeting your graduation requirements with Karazin University. So one thing to highlight is that for sure there is a lot of flexibility when you come to study in Canada. So you can also mix and match from either within the same faculty but different major, or you can even take some of other majors or some other subjects from different faculties as well. So we just really need to be very strategic with planning based on your goals and based, of course, on the requirements and expectations from University of Karazin in terms of graduation and whether graduating within the same years as planned. Other majors that we can consider accessing from the Faculty of Science is, of course, environmental studies. You can look through that because it also includes some environmental biology, for example. We can look at natural resource science as well. With regards to some pre-professional health sciences, this is basically still you are joining Bachelor of Science, but with our team of academic advisors, you are planning with them based on your goals. So, for example, I want to go and study pharmaceutical related areas, right? So what would be the proper courses for me to then transfer them and recognize this as pre-professional practice, basically pre-professional studies to other schools that have medical faculties, for example. So that's just a really careful planning with our academic advisors that can get you there. We do have some other areas as well under the Faculty of Science, but this is definitely something that I would recommend looking through. We do have some health-related studies as well. For example, respiratory therapy. Usually it's 3 years diploma that takes you again into the hospital environment as a respiratory therapist professional. And of course, we have nursing program as well, bachelor level or diploma level practical nursing diploma. But those programs have very limited seats, so we just really need to be careful. Sorry, can you guys mute yourselves? Thank you so much. Whoever is unmute, please mute yourself. So with health-related sciences, just keep in mind that those are competitive programs. We only have limited number of seats open to international students. So sometimes it's even easier to start with science, with biology, for example, or human anatomy, taking a semester or maybe 2 semesters, and then try to internally switch to, say, nursing or respiratory therapy. But the good news that respiratory therapy, they prefer more mature students who have at least a year or 2 of health-related studies, medical-related studies, so the environment that you headed into. So you guys definitely have that competitive advantage coming with some educational background. So outside of experiential learning that I highlighted through, practicalities through the lab component, for example, through the research as well. There's also lots of different conferences that take place, different competitions. We have science-related summer camp that you as a student can also be part of, working with kids, right, who come here to join summer camp. So those are different options as well. And outside of science, outside of the faculty, right, there's also extracurricular activities that you can dive into to also enhance your experience at TRU, and of course enhance your resume. So there's different volunteer opportunities on campus. There's different clubs that I definitely can, recommend looking through and finding those that are of your interest. Because when we speak of clubs, for example, so tru.ca/clubs, when we speak of clubs, there are more that are based on your interests, on your hobbies, if you will, but there are also some academic related and more professionally geared oriented clubs that you can be part of. We also have a business incubator on campus. So even if you come from, science background, medical background, but you have some entrepreneurial idea, we can easily link you with other like-minded students. There's lots of support from the city as well, from professionals to kind of guide you through, mentor through those steps to kind of get that idea into reality. What also matters to us is to understand that our students are supported throughout their whole journey at TRU. So we have different groups of support services who work with students, either, as I already mentioned, with your academic course load workload. So you will be planning each semester, basically, all the classes, all the subjects you will be taking, you plan with academic advisors based on your goals, based on your interests, based on your needs. International student advisors, this is the team that you start working with even before your arrival to TRU. So they help you with adjustment, with some key important information about your arrival, orientation, pre-departure sessions, and more. And you come to see them on individual basis with whatever questions you may have, either academic related, adjustment related, personal questions. So this is the team that is there to support you. And of course, there's tons of other support services on campus, whether it's academic services from Writing Help Center, Math Help Center, libraries with their different workshops, especially on academic integrity, to career center, where you can learn how to write resume, you can learn about looking for jobs here in Canada, learn about profiles of jobs within your particular sector, what are the opportunities and options. There's job fairs that they conduct as well every year, different mentoring, networking events, so lots of different supports around career, counseling services, doctor's office on campus, so lots of different supports that students need. And of course, we do see that our graduates that are in demand in the work market. So that's definitely something to be proud of for us, because we know that our students, once they graduate, they find their place in out there in their work area. As I mentioned, WorkBC, I definitely do like that resource because it gives you profile of different industries, and you can even search by different posting positions, right? To learn about what that particular position entails. What is the work experience that they're looking for? What is the educational experience they will be looking for? Other qualifications that I need to be aware of, so you can start building that experience still as a student through experiential learning opportunities, through volunteer opportunities, or even co-op opportunities. I haven't had a chance to talk about it, but I will. So definitely WorkBC, take a look at different profiles, take a look at different careers that are available within the province of British Columbia. This is their official website, official statistics, and official information, including the wage that students are making. Now, with co-op, with work opportunities in general. So as I mentioned, as a student, you can work part-time during your regular semester, but you can also work full-time during scheduled breaks. For example, summer, there's 4 months scheduled break that you can engage in full-time work opportunities. If you choose to come here as a degree completing student, then you can also qualify for postgraduate work permit up to 3 years. If you choose to come here for, say, 1 or 2 semesters, then this is off the table. Minimum wage has gone up, so this is the good news. We now have it $15.65 per hour. So before we jump into tuition, I also want to mention co-op opportunities. A lot of our programs, and science is not an exception here, so science is also on the list of those faculties that have co-op opportunities available for students. What that means is that you can access work experience, paid internship, in other words, in different industries, in different companies, all over Canada. We have a really diverse, vast portfolio of 500 plus different companies that take our students for that COPE semester, paid internship semester. Of course, to get onto COPE placement, we are evaluating your GPA, we are evaluating where you at with, within the degree, because usually first year students cannot access that. You can usually access it after 2 years. But considering that you already have some educational background, so you already have some courses completed, we can also do transfer credits. So you can see, if I've already completed that subject, there's no need to repeat that. That means that you can access COPE education sooner, and you can take all 4 months, your 1 semester of basically that work experience in different companies all over Canada, including science-related sector. There's some really good student success stories that we see with science, within science faculty as well. So tuition fees, education in Canada is not free. We all pay for that, whether domestic student or international. It's just that there's a slightly different fee structure. Of course, domestic students pay a little bit less because government takes the portion of their tuition and subsidize it. But for international student, tuition is, if you choose to take 4 courses, because you also have that flexibility there, either to start with maximum course load, 5 classes, or to start slower and kind of first adjust, right, to that university environment in Canada. So you can take 4 courses. Tuition will depend on that. So maximum courses, 5 classes, will be a little bit over $9,600 per semester. There's usually 2 semesters within academic year. Summer is always optional, but if you want to, you can take a couple of subjects during summer as well. So that is tuition structure. Other fees that you need to account for is definitely your housing, because you need a place to stay, whether it's going to be one of the residences that we offer at TRU. We have 2 residences right on campus, another residence literally across the street from university, so don't even need to use bus service or car or other mode of transportation. Homestay is another option available for students, and that usually includes meals as part of your experience. Residence, you need to budget that separately. And other expenses to keep in mind is health insurance is mandatory because medical service is quite expensive. And of course, other personal expenses like your bills, whether it's internet bill, cell phone bill, your food, right? But estimated cost per year, I would say closer to 30,000 to 32,000 Canadian dollars per year with everything, right? From your tuition fees to other fees. So that would be the estimate budget that we would look at. There are some scholarships available for students. Mind you, Canada does not really offer, large scholarship amount, but smaller amounts are available, including even as a current student, you can also explore, whether based on your GPA, you can qualify for Dean's List Award, for example, or based on your achievements, is there something that you can apply for within your faculty and receive one of the awards? So some options are there. So that's basically the key that I wanted to highlight with regards to options and what we can do, whether it's, a degree completion with transfer credit or visiting student for a semester or 2, and then take those credits back to Horizon University and now graduate with their credentials. We are planning to, develop more options, right, for kind of dual degree completion, but that's still the goal basically. But speaking of what we can do today, those are basically the options. So do take a look at our social media, because students love to share their stories, just for you to understand, campus life, university life, what students have to say, right? So yeah, take a look at that to kind of, build your perception and understanding of life at TRU. So I think that's the most important that I wanted to share with you with regards to science. So today we wanted to focus mainly on science, but remember that at TRU we have 140 different programs. So if you feel that you want to combine some other subjects from different majors, from different faculties, as I mentioned, the flexibility is there. We just really need to plan based on your goals, your needs. And academic advisors are there for you to do that. Okay, Irina, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Tanya. Thank you for just amazing presentation. I have been in your campus a few times, and I'm really fall in love with Kamloops, first of all, because this is the riverside. This is such beautiful nature, guys. And second things which make Thompson Rivers University such close to our Ukrainian community and specifically to our academic community. The Thompson Rivers University and Karazin University already working to develop some academic program in future. This is why, guys, to visit Thompson Rivers University, specifically now, if you have some difficulties to study in Ukraine offline, will be for you a great possibility to join one of the best international community in your spheres and to gain in future 2 diplomas from Thompson Rivers and from Karazin University. Please think about that. My colleague Yelena, she will share with you guys application form, Google application form. If you have any questions related to your study in Karazina and about your goals in Canada or somewhere else, just let us know. We are happy to help you and we are happy to talk about your cases. Each case is unique. I know that everyone is unique and we will consider everything what you have in your packet and we will find the best solution for you. Thompson Rivers University, as Tatiana mentioned, is a very flexible education establishment. You will find here everything what you need. The second thing, we already developed the short-term program for the summer, which we, for medical students, Tanya, which we developed last year. Is it will be available for us, let's say in August or maybe some other vacation time, Tanya, what do you think?
Yes, because those short-term programs, they're custom-made programs. So as you know, as long as we have the cohort of students who will be studying, we will be happy to run that program. And indeed, we try to embed a lot of practicalities in that program. So you would access our nursing labs, you would access the respiratory therapy program labs, you know, just to work on that equipment. We've planned a lot of different visits from professionals in different sectors. So, you know, from hospital to, you know, different professionals, say hospice. Who else did we have there in mind? So yeah, there's different levels, I would say, right, of professionals who will be coming to speak to you as well, and some other, you know, great structures, I would say. I'm trying to find quickly. I wasn't ready to talk about that now, but I'm quickly trying to find that plan that we've established because there's some really great topics that we wanted to cover in that program. Just give me a brief moment and I'll be ready to highlight a couple more classes from there.
Yes, and I would like to add that that program was specifically created for students from University of Karazina. It's mean we focused for the academic education which you have in your home country university, and this opportunity which you will have in Thompson Rivers University. For those who would like to join this program in August, I think we will organize the individual session on campus. I will be there with the group and help you to understand how you will transfer to the university, how you will make your future goal in Canada or somewhere else. And this is why I would like guys to engage you to participate in this program. And Tatiana, please tell us a little more about that.
Yes. So I just opened the structure that we've created, and let me just share the screen again, because indeed what we tried to do here is we wanted to keep the program light yet still very efficient, because this is just a 4-week program. We can, you know, do 3, but 4 weeks is preferred, so you can get more of it. And we also wanted to embed some activities there too, just, you know, for you to learn more about Canada as a destination, things to do, right? Have fun. So some of the great topics that we have here, like different classes basically, right? Like medicine and media, right? To understand those areas. System thinking in healthcare, because that is crucial as well to understand the whole system level within that healthcare. Patient assessment. So you will have access to, as I mentioned, respiratory lab access, our nursing lab access. Leadership, I think leadership is essential just in any area that you look at. So yeah, so different intercultural studies, ethics in healthcare, I think is quite important subject too. So that's the overview of the program that we developed specifically for Karazin University for you guys. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of flexibility. So once we have a cohort who would like to study in this program, then we can be flexible with dates, again, pending that it doesn't interfere with regular academic students accessing their lab, right? Because we still need to ensure that our regular academic students do their labs component that they need, right?
Thank you, Tanishka. I think that we already have a few students from other medical school as well who would like to participate. And with Karazina, I hope that we will have this cohort which we bring to Canada soon. I also would like to mention that take part in such short program. It will be much easier for you guys to understand what is the Canada. Would you like to stay there longer? Would you like to transfer there to the university or make your new life there? This short-term program, it's great not just for navigation, but for your inner motivation to become a part of that society. It's completely different from Europe and completely different from Ukraine. But I love that country. And I think this the most freedom country in the world with such great opportunity to develop yourself and with lowest rate of unemployment, specifically in medical sphere.
In such a high demand, because again, if you open that Work BC, they have a list of high opportunity occupations, right? So those like hot, basically, careers, and definitely anything related to health related professions are there on the list. In high demand, we really lack professionals, so they always look to hire more, health related professionals or health school graduates.
I saw the questions about short-term program. I would like to add that our colleague from Karazina University, Natalia, she's from the international department. She's responsible to make the list of students because, guys, Canadian visa is not easy. If you will be part of the students group, it will be much easier for us to give you a visa. For us, it's very important, not just you going to virtually participate, but very important that you physically receive the visa, get the visa, and come to country. This is why please contact your international department. Natalia join us. Natalia, are you here? You're supposed to be with us.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Natalia, yes, Natalia have all full descriptions about our short-term program, and she will make the list of the students who are interested to participate, and she will come back to us with this list, and we will start the process. We will discuss the date with university, and we will start the process with visa and application process as well. If you have any other questions, guys, I already see that in chat you have our Google form. Please fill this out and left us your feedback. What you are looking for, how we can help you to achieve your goal. We are ready to serve you. Any other questions, guys? We have unique opportunity to have two professionals. Yes, please.
Okay, first question is, the summer program you're talking about, that's the program in August, what's the cost? Is it free?
No, it's not a free. This is
Okay,
5,000. Yes, this is 5,900 Canadian dollars.
Okay.
But that includes everything. It includes everything,
Yes.
including your accommodation, including your transit, resources, study materials, lab orientation, lab components. So it's a full package basically. It's not just the program of academic side, I would say, right? It's the full package.
You will find all details. Natalia will send the full details of the program for anyone who is interested. And as I see, Andrew have a questions. Please go ahead.
Sorry, and if we do that program, does it help us like continue with the medicine, or is it different from the medicine we're doing right now? Like, is it like towards graduation? Is that what the program is for?
So it is not towards graduation. It is for you to familiarize yourself with Canadian medical system, and basically you are enhancing and expanding, right, on your knowledge, on your expertise. But again, it's just a month, right, in duration, and 1 month program cannot lead to graduation in with medicine credentials. And as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of my presentation, medical school in Canada is a professional school, right? So you cannot go there after high school. You can only go there as mature student with bachelor degree completed. So just a slightly different system to start with, right? So no, this program does not lead you to graduate as a, as a medicine professional.
All right, thank you.
I have another question.
Yes, please.
What's the assurance that if a person transfers from Ukraine to Canada, you graduate in the appropriate year you were meant to graduate? For example, I'm in my 5th year to graduate next year. So if I transfer to Canada, what is the assurance of graduating next year?
This is a really good question. So we do accept transfer credit. That means that we evaluate curriculum that you've completed. We usually take syllabus just to understand, how many courses match the same curriculum that we have and whether the program that you do is offered by, by TRU as well. So if you're transferring into something similar, it's pretty, easy and straightforward with planning. But if you transfer to something slightly different or quite different, then we really need to evaluate how many of those classes, subjects can be recognized and waived from what, where else do you need to study. But even with a program matching, 100%, we can only transfer 50% of, curriculum completed. So no one can guarantee that you will still complete within just 1 year. It really is individual for every student, because even, student on an identical curriculum, but with different grades, right, can have more classes recognized and transferred compared to another student. So it's a very thorough individual planning for each student.
I have a
All right,
question.
thank you. And my last question is it possible to graduate in Canada and work with that certificate? Like you don't need years of experience, you just graduate, write your exam, and you'll be able to work or practice.
It depends on what you graduating with. For example, there's human service certificate, right? Yes, it does not take you to work in the hospital environment, but it takes you to work in clinical environment, kind of like home visiting, supporting patients in home, or maybe like in care homes, right? So it's a slightly different level that you're entering. So you're not, say, a doctor, but you're still within health sector. Really different level of the program, different credentials lead to different career opportunities.
All right, thank you.
What else, guys? And we have Natalia with us. Tanya, if you don't mind,
Yes,
I would like to introduce you, Natalia.
Yes.
She's the one
Nice
of
to
the main
meet you.
person for me
Pleasure to meet
in
you.
Karazina University. She's a first contact for international students there.
So I would just like to ask if you guys have any questions, you're kindly invited to forward it to me. You can refer to Alena Sanina for my contact details. So I will try through Irina to answer your questions, okay? And I can also forward you the program of the summer school.
Okay,
So
Natalia,
please.
and if you have some additional questions, if students need additional presentation, no problem. Please write the list of the questions and we will come back with specific answer, because some questions can be very, very specific. Will be nice if you have 1-2 days to prepare for that. Yes, Andrew,
Yes,
please.
sure.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, is there any sort of program where we know we can like continue from the present year we stop? Like if we're in 4th year, we continue 5th year, 5th we continue 6th. Is there any program that could like help us continue that way into medical school?
It is a good question. Can I know the exact name of the program that you are completing? So what would be the credentials that you receive upon graduation?
For example, in Ukraine, if you graduate in the medical school, you get a master's and you get an MD. So is there any sort of program where if we transfer from Ukraine to wherever we're going to, then we know that we're just continuing the medical education and we'll still graduate within a certain amount of time?
Do you mind repeating the credentials, because the connections was dropping out a little bit? So what would be the?
It's a master's in, it's MD, a master's in medicine.
Okay. No, there will not be any, you know, again, going back to how different system is, right? For example, in Ukraine, you started medical school with your high school credentials, right? And you work 5 or 6 years, right? You study 5 or 6 years to then graduate with your MD. But in Canada, you cannot even apply for medical school up until you complete your first bachelor degree, right? And that's usually, you know, science. And then you go into medical school. So it's more of a professional school, right? Because then you choose your profession. What kind of doctor am I, right? But that's to be doctor, medical school. But there's also health related sciences. So we can look at health related sciences. Mind you, we'll also have Master of Nursing available as well. So for Master of Nursing, maybe something that we can consider, right? But for that, we really need to also see that you're a practicing nurse in your home country. So when you complete, right, maybe practice for a little bit, and then you can apply to study Master of Nursing with us. It's just a year and a half in duration. So that could be another option. But because the level of medical schools are slightly different, there's no direct pathway, I would say. There's no direct transfer, right, from medical school to medical school.
Oh, so which means if we do decide to follow the program, then whatever was done before now would just be left out. Like, we'd have to just forget about it, yeah? So, I mean, like, to use it anyways, we'll be starting a new path, basically, yeah?
In a way, yes and no, right? Because again, you can also graduate with... Sorry?
Yeah? No, sorry.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Yes. So say in a way you graduate with Bachelor of Science. So say we transfer your credits, right? We recognize courses to complete Bachelor of Science with majoring in biological studies. You can also go and work, right, in those industries. So as I showed you on the slide, different professions, and you will, again, do your homework, go to Work BC and learn more about different careers in science. You can still see that there's a lot of professions that are relevant, related to health sector, maybe even labs, right, that you can work there. But it's just that you are not directly working with patients, right? It really depends on what are your career goals, what are you looking at? Because there's a lot of different career opportunities related to science, to health sector, but they do not include direct work with patients per se.
Yeah.
You may also need to do some professional upgrading, for example, right? Because even within medical health related industry, there's different professional small certifications, I would say, right? So say if you want to be a paramedic, right, you need a specific short course to become a paramedic, right? But with your background, you can do that. There's, as I already mentioned, like, you know, human service certificate, for example, half a year, right? But this is more of a professional, not upgrading, but yeah, your professional credentials, basically, right? Short professional credentials that can lead you to a particular path, to particular career development. The system, the health-related system in Canada is a little bit, not convoluted, but definitely differs, right, from medical system that we see in Ukraine. So there's a lot of different trainings, that would be the proper word. There's a lot of different trainings in between, even with your degree completed, even when you have your full degree completed, undergraduate or professionals, medical, there's still a lot of different trainings, professional trainings that, you know, are embedded in healthcare and medical system.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So if one wanted to chase, like, if your goal was to be like a surgeon, then you'd have to follow like a medical direction. But if you don't mind branching out in any of them other medical sectors, then this, okay, that's what you mean, yeah?
Yes, that's exactly what I
thank
mean.
you.
Yes, thank you. Irina, you're muted.
We have one more question, please. I think this is the name is Mike.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I have a question, please. I think this is going to be directed towards like the representatives of Karazin. I mean, with everything that we've heard today, I think it's safe to say we need our official documents from the school in order to do anything. So, I mean, it's towards Karazin as it is, please. So when are we going to have our documents? Because we need it to apply for anything, actually. That's where everyone is right now.
Okay, just a moment. Yes, I don't understand your question. Can you please take through Alona my contact? Please repeat your question and I will answer you regarding the when you'll be able to take your credentials. Because I'm not ready to answer right now.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Guys, you have an application form, as I mentioned before, in our chat. This is Google form. You can put everything what you need from us, from university, and we will share this information between us and we'll find the way to answer your questions. Do you have any more questions, guys? Please use this unique opportunity. Okay, if this, yes, please.
I want to ask about any scholarship if I available in that university.
Yes, there are some scholarships available, but as I mentioned, they're the smaller amount, right? It doesn't cover most of the tuition, but small amounts are available. And usually that's a bachelor level program, especially science, right? They always encourage students. So we'll look at academic achievements, and based on those academic achievements, it can be a $2,000 scholarships. So you receive $1,000 each of those 2 semesters, or it can be $4,000 where you receive $1,000 each of those 4 semesters per se. Those are entry scholarships. And then you also have awards. So as a TRU student, then you have more options, I would say, right? Because there's different awards based on how active you are as a student. So you join Social Media Ambassador Squad. There's another scholarship, $1,000 scholarship for that semester. You're a social media ambassador with us. There's awards based on your GPA. So 2 semesters consecutive high GPA gets you on a Dean's List awards. So there's another financial support. Again, based on achievements, there's a list of different awards available for each particular faculty that you're associated with. So you would look through their page to identify what are the options, the programs that are open to international students based on my achievements. And of course, do not forget about work opportunities, right? Taking co-op semester, for example, this is fully paid work opportunity, but you also get your credits, right, towards your credentials. So, you know, option for you to save up a little bit, right, towards your cost of living, towards your tuition. So there are different ways as a student to try to decrease basically, right, tuition amount or help yourself financially. But still, you know, it is advised to pre-plan your budget thoroughly.
Also, I would like to add that if you're older than 18 years, you can easily work for the first semester. I would like to say 10, 15 hours, but from the second semester, you will easily work 20 hours per week. And it helps you completely have the money for your budget money for months. You will cover all your food expenses, your phone, your transportation, everything. And maybe if you work harder and have little higher salary than $15, you can even save some money to pay your tuition. Guys, everything in your hand. Don't looking for just a scholarship. I know that most of you already left your country for 1,000 kilometers. And you came to Ukraine. Ukraine is not the easy country. Canada is much more easy in this way. This is why, if you have this in your mind and you have the idea and you have this the goal to transfer to Canada, everything is possible. If you would like to talk with us about the budget, how much you can gain when you work, how much you will gain when you have the internship, this is also be open for this discussion. Everything's supposed to be clear and everything in your hand, nothing impossible. This is my main idea. Just dream, everything possible.
I have a question. Please, is it possible for us to get Tatiana's contact in case like any question arises after like we think about it and everything?
Guys, you have the application form. You can please fill this out application form. You can imagine, and if 50 of you just contact Tatiana about some questions. From my experience, all these questions is the same. Why we have the application form, and we will collect all your questions, systemize this, and answer to you. From 50 of students from the presentation, 90% of questions will be the same. You have application form, please. Sorry, we can't leave our personal contact information. It's make us crazy later. Let's go through the process.
But if we feel, but if we feel that there's some, questions where you need to bring me back, I am available for that. So we can do like a Q&A question, we collect them in advance. If I need to ask something from admission, something from faculty, right? So we can have, a thorough Q&A session.
Yes, this is what I mentioned. We can have one additional webinar. Please, guys, write your questions. We will collect, send to Tanya. She will prepare her answer because some answers is not in her responsibilities. And same from our side, if some questions will be not from our responsibility, we should contact embassy in your country or something else. Just please give us the list of your questions. And in a week, we will be ready to answer.
Sorry, I have a question.
I want to say something about the question the guy asked earlier for our document and transcript. Natalia said we should message her personally. So that is why she's asking for the contact. And I think we need it because we need our documents.
Guys, this is more questions to the university for Natalia and your international department. Me and Tatiana, we can't answer those questions. If you have this question and if you put this in our application, we will transfer these questions to the Karazina University. I think in such difficult time now, they are not ready to maybe work with paper such fast as you wish. As you know that Kharkov was destroyed. Do you remember that city? And now this is a nothing, specifically your university. This is why if you have some questions to Karazina University, please transfer to us, no problem. We will help you to solve these problems and contact Natalia and Ina from international department and you will receive all your documents, specifically if you need this to transfer somewhere else. And you have
we
some
cannot
questions from
contact the
Andrew.
university because we used our agent, which is Natalia's company. Natalia helped us. She was our agent when we got into Karazina. So for us to pull out, we also need Natalia to help us get our document that we gave to her so we can leave the university and then go to Canada or any other place. That's why we're asking.
Okay, great, guys. Let's, Natalia, would you like to answer to students right now or you will answer later for individuals, for each individuals?
I'm so sorry. I'm just not ready to answer right now. I need to check with the university administration. So I'm sure it's not be a problem. You will get your answers. You will receive your documents. It's not a problem. I'm just not ready now. Sorry to be sure about terms, etc., and how to receive your documents, which is the procedure. But I will clear it out and I will write on your WhatsApp or whatever, or you could contact me just a bit later.
Okay, guys, what else? As I see, Andrew has a question again, or your question is the same about documents.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to ask, because I don't know if there's going to be any talks about Europe, because we were told it was Canada and Europe, so I just wanted to ask if there will be any talks about Europe also.
Well, guys, if you have some questions about Europe, we will going to organize next webinar. Please put these questions in your application form. It will be next week. I'm not sure which day. It will be Tuesday or Friday. Please, Natalia will send you all details when we're going to organize. About Europe, it will be Slovakia, Czech Republic, and Germany. It will be in Poland as well. It will be 4 countries about which we are going to talk next week. But if you see, guys, the possibilities, because the main idea when you go somewhere else and you receive your diploma, what else? What next stage? Next, you're going to employment. Do you see how many Ukrainians now transfer to Europe? More than 7 million. What you think? Who will be the first on the working place? Be openly, be honest. And Canada is the second large country in the world. And they openly help the students to receive postgraduate work permit and after that receive the job. This is just the one country in the world who open for international students. Please check this.
And we need healthcare professionals. We so desperately need healthcare professionals.
This is too much in one country. And also, if you can see how they Canada now support international students around the world, they support the refugee from different countries. This Canada was the country with big opportunities for each of you.
Okay, do you have more question?
So just to be clear, this meeting is directed for the summer program, and if you want to take any extra diploma, that's it.
No, this meeting about summer program and about the students who would like to be visitor students in Thompson Rivers University as a students from Karazina, become a visitors, or you would like to transfer from Karazina University to Thompson Rivers University. And this meeting about if you would like to have master's degree in different sphere, let's say you have a high GPA and you can go to some master's degree in business or nursing, even if your GPA is high enough. This is the 4 topics which we today cover, which we covered today.
Hey.
Thank you.
Don't throw my food though, Chuchu.
Guys, please, if you are not asking questions, mute your microphone. Mute yourself, guys.
This is because the questions about transfer are not being directly addressed. You're just saying contact me later, and we need to transfer. If we need transfer, we need to transfer with transcript and stuff like that. So like the fact that the questions are not, some of us here have a previous degree. So that's why we're asking actually for the transfer, to know what is possible, what are the next steps and everything.
Next step for your transfer, you should receive your transcript from the university. We should fill out the application form from the Thompson Rivers University, pay application fee, translate all your transcripts from the Karazina University in English, send all these documents for the university. And this process, it not will be as same easy as just admissions process for the undergraduate program. It will take time. It will happen and you will know exactly what will be transferred when you will be the students at the university, that moment. No one will check your transcript if you're sitting somewhere else and you're not planning to be the students there. Everything will be when you come to Canada. It took usually a few months to receive the answer from admissions. Depends of, as Tatiana mentioned, guys, have you been on the presentation? She mentioned how far is your specialization which you have in Ukraine from this faculty which you would like to choose in Thompson Rivers. This is a question. If this is a completely same, it will be not more than 50% transferred.
It is indeed difficult to answer in concrete because we don't have transcripts in front of us today, right? But from what I'm hearing, your university is saying that give them some time to understand how long it will take to, and in what way, right? You can access your transcript. Nobody's denying that. It's just, you know, they need a little bit more time to understand how the process will look like, how long it will take, so you can start arranging application process. But on our end, indeed, it is difficult for me to currently say that, yes, apply, you will be admitted to third year, fourth year, or last year, right, graduation, because it is so individually planned with each student. You may have the same list of subjects that you're taking with your friend, but because grades are different, for one person, you know, more courses can be recognized, for another person less, because maybe, you know, the results were not as high at some of the subjects. So the key message here is that you can still apply for different options, whether to transfer your degree here and complete degree with us, whether to come here for a semester or two and then have those classes recognized by Karazina and complete your education with Karazina, or come here to do a different degree, say on a master level program. And of course, the summer program here on the, is on the table that offers here as well, directly relevant to medical school, to introduce you to medical system here in Canada, but also a chance for you to see our university and even meet maybe with academic advisors from our team to kind of understand, what are your particular path may look like with TRU. So there's a lot of flexibility. Just remember about that. It is not black and white, right? It is not that rigid. There's a lot of flexibility. And that's the beauty of it, because we can plan based on your career future goals, right? If you really, planning wanting to go into medical school in Canada, become that surgeon or whatnot, right? Then for sure that the path is going to be different from somebody who's really want to get into the hospital environment, and maybe respiratory therapy is what, what they're looking for. So do not feel frustrated that maybe your question is not answered as detailed as you'd prefer. Okay. More questions?
Yeah, I have a question, please.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I want to ask.
Yeah, I have a
Yes.
question.
Sorry, one at a time, please. So Ezeku, is that the correct spelling? Sorry if I butchered your name.
Yeah, just
Yes.
say Precious. Precious is fine.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to ask, for those of us that are coming from Ukraine, like the students from Ukraine, I'm talking from perspective of those of us that have graduated already.
Okay.
I want to ask, for us to enroll in a program in this university, let's say master's degree program, is there any special incentives for us? Like, I'm just asking, I just want to know, some universities all over the world and Europe generally, they have given some incentives, like, for example, cutting of tuition fees, awarding of several scholarships and grants for students from Ukraine. So I don't know if this university also have similar opportunities as well. That is good.
Thank you for this question. Yes, indeed. We understand that more students are affected by war now. We do have special offer for students from Ukraine, but with Ukrainian passport. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to offer for international students who studied in Ukraine. That was, that is basically the same, you're on the same page as other international students that we have with us here.
So if I'm right, the benefits are just only for original Ukrainian nationals.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's what we have right now. We don't have anything to offer to international students who were studying in Ukraine and now affected. So you would be, just on the same page as our other international students. With the same opportunities though, right? To access scholarship, to access different awards, to work based on the study permit. So, their opportunities are equal.
You know what, I'm just asking because for me, I just feel it doesn't make any logical sense, because every one of us were affected by the war. So I don't understand why only the Ukrainians are getting those benefits. For example, somebody like me, I lost everything. Even my building was affected, and I left with literally nothing, just like the Ukrainians as well. You understand? But
yes.
That is by the way. And my second question is this. I would love to know the kind of master degree program that you guys have over there in Canada, like in your university, like mostly related to the healthcare setting in general, example, public health.
So in public health, we have a Master of Nursing. So this is the program that is, more for admin level positions within hospitals. Could be also education sector, right? Working with either community or different education programs within that interior health, for example, or organization or hospital sector, or even university level, if you will, right? So Master of Nursing, that's directly relevant to health sector, but we also have other master level programs like Master of Business Administration, for example, Master of Education, leadership positions as well there. Environmental economics and management, data science, so that just, to name those that we have.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so
So
maybe
I have a question.
few more questions, maybe.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Go ahead.
So basically, my question is, you said you're giving a 1 month program for 5,000 Canadian dollars. Hello?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes.
I'm asking, so you said the 1 month program would go for 5,000 Canadian dollars.
Is that a question? Sorry, I'm having difficult time understanding the question though.
What is the price for the 1 month program? That's the question.
5,900 Canadian dollars. This is full price for 1 month practice program in Thompson Rivers University. And this is specifically developed for medical students.
So what is the practice program for this 1 month? What is the name of the practice program for this 1 month?
Guys, this is full description of the program. Natalia will send you, or I will send, no problem. Please left your email address and we will send you the full description. Please, guys, mute yourself. Please mute yourself if you're not asking questions. All details of the program will be sent to you by email. It is 4 pages of program. Tatiana already mentioned about some details of the program. Do you remember? It was in the end of our presentation. But we will send you full description in English to your email address. Please left your email address in chat or fill out the application form. How is much easy for you?
So my next question is, after 1 month, what next?
What is your plan for what next? Would you like to stay in Canada? Would you like to transfer?
If you like to stay, how would you stay? Like if you would like to stay after 1 month.
After 1 month, if you would like to stay there, you should tell us about that in advance. It's mean you are going to study at the university and continue your science, some kind of science degree during this 1 month or your first or 2 months of your studying. The transfer, your credit from the Karazina University will be transferred to Thompson Rivers University. And for second semester, you will exactly understand where you are, how many credits transferred to you, and how many credits you need to pass in the university. This is the main idea of this program. Introduce you to the university. You will find the program which you would like to choose, and you will continue to stay there. But everything's supposed to be done in advance, because application process in Thompson Rivers University already finished. Just, I'm very sorry, but just only Ukrainian students, we continue to apply them for some few available places. But for you guys, we also find a way to help you. This is why we are all here. If you would like to transfer there, let us know. We will apply to the university. Okay, let's say, as Tatiana give you a good example for biology, let's say for Faculty of Science for biology. After that, you will come to summer program and you will stay there for next year, because we will give you student's visa. If you're going just to visit the university for 1 month, it will be visitor's visa. This visa don't let you to stay there longer than the program late, not longer than 1 month. But if you would like to stay, let us know in advance. It will be different type of visa and different documents and different responsibility from you, because from 1st of September, you will start your academic program in the university.
I'm sorry. So what you're saying is, if we intend to transfer to the university, we have to go for the summer program.
No. The summer program is not necessary if you're going to transfer, guys. No. It's two separate things. But the lady asking me what happened after this summer program, and I give her as example what can happen after that. She can stay at the Thompson Rivers University and continue study there. If she would like to visit, she will come back to her home country and continue online education in Karazina University. Depends of your goal, guys. Do you remember that Tanya said from advance that all of you unique and all cases, even you study in the same group, will be different, and transfer process for all of you will be different, guys. This is why we are ready to work with you individually.
Take summer program as professional development. Summer program for 1 month, this is your professional development program to learn about Canadian medical system, to go into those medical related topics, right, that we covered earlier, like medicine and media, for example, ethics in medicine and whatnot. But professional development and academic credentials leading to profession, those are two different paths, right? So if you're thinking of academic completion, getting your credentials for your future career, that's transfer credit. That's coming as a visiting student. And so two options, either transferring classes from Karazin to TRU, or coming to TRU, take classes and transfer them back to Karazin. So different paths, do not confuse them.
Okay. The other question I have, you mentioned that the application presently is closed. When will this application be opened next, and for what session?
Guys,
January.
Yes.
Is accepted. You need to also understand that for September, we cannot take regular applications because study permit processing time is long. So you physically, right, will not be able to get your study permit in time for you to come for September intake. So that's why January is the nearest intake that you can apply for.
So the summer program is like we're basically touring Canada, and I think the majority of us here want to know how we can transfer to continue our education, not a 1 month program or a 2 month program. I think that's why the majority of us are in this meeting.
Okay, guys, this is why Tanya mentioned now for you. The next semester, which is available for you as for transfer or visitor students, is January. We can't give you study permit now. We have just 2 months left for September, till September. We are not magic, study permit need at least 3 months, in case if we apply you to university. In general, usually we apply our Ukrainian students to study abroad in Thompson Rivers University 1 year in advance. Now we apply students for 2023. You understand what I mean? For you, we are ready to work for January. It's mean you should make your decision that yes, we are going to the university. You should choose the faculty of science and major which you would like to choose in the university. We should apply to the university, translate all transcripts from the Karazina, present it to the university, and apply you to visa, receive letter of acceptance, and apply you for study permit. All of this together will be at least 6 months. This visa which you receive for summer program, if you would like to go there, it's just a visitor's visa. It's not allowed you to stay there longer than during your visit, which we put to the application format. This is 4 weeks exactly, and you're supposed to come back to country. And I think if you are thinking to transfer, don't spend money for summer program. Save this money for your future education, for your study, for the academic year or 2 years, depends how long you need study at the university. And we have a question. Yes, please, go ahead.
Just to clarify something, this transfer is just other health fields, right? It's not medicine.
Again, it is not medicine because medical schools in Canada require you to have bachelor degree completed. So we are inviting you to complete your bachelor degree with us, and then it will be your choice to either go and work in the area, in the field, right? Health related field, for example, or take advantage of postgraduate work permit, change your status to permanent residency, apply to medical school as local student, because the competition for medical schools, you'll be surprised. But as local students, at least you have options to have more schools, medical schools to apply for. But to do so, you need bachelor degree completed. And that's exactly what we can do here for you, to allow you to complete your bachelor degree. So then you can decide, what career am I building? Going to medical school or working in the professional field?
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Right. Let me assume that someone transfers to do this. Let's say someone transferred to complete his or her bachelor's degree in your university, and then decides to progress in medicine. Remember, most students say some of them just have 2 years to graduate as doctors in Ukraine.
Yes.
So after they are done with the bachelor's degree over there in Canada, while transferring to the medical program, can they transfer to the level at which they stopped in Ukraine, or they have to go back a step backward or something like that, or they have to start from beginning again?
This is a very difficult question for me to answer, because every medical school will have their own protocol. So I can't really say or generalize, right? It really has to be taken directly with medical school, and then, see if there's a transfer credit opportunity or not. Unfortunately, I'm not in position to answer that question.
Okay, can you make findings for us?
Unfortunately, I cannot, because it has to be taken directly to medical school. So this is something that you would have to research.
Guys, we already, Tanishka, I'm sorry, I would like to mention that we already have the presentation for you guys from Hugh Medical School from UK. As you remember, on the Karazina University, it was in fall 2021. And you already have this way, and all of you received the email where we make research for you and demonstrate you on the one university in UK, one university in States, and one medical school in Canada, how it is working. Please come back to your email, and you have there all this list of steps which you're supposed to pass. Example, as an example, we choose the one university in each country and demonstrate to you how it works. And we run there, as I remember, few presentation in Karazina about that. If you don't have this letter, ask Natalia, she will pass for you this letter if you not participate that time. Or fill out application and we will send to you all this information. We already have this. To make research for you and find for you medical school where you can transfer, we as an agency can do this for our students. But you would like to understand this application process is crazy complicated. You should contact Karazina University and they will give you all details about that. We are working with Karazina, with students from Karazina University through the international department, just because they give us all documents for the students. If you have these questions, we can come back for the next presentation and give you an example again from the specific medical school. But from the another medical school, it will be different, guys. Yes. Would like to mention that this is one example is not working for all Canada or all states. These most complicated spheres, and the doctors in Canada and states are gods there with the sorry for this kind of what to refer. Okay, please fill out the application form. Our application form is in our chat. If you'd like to receive any answer, please send to us the application form with your questions. Okay, guys, do you have some additional questions specifically which related to Thompson Rivers University? Tanya, thank you very much to be with us today, more than 2 hours. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think it will be informative, and we try to encourage you guys to go ahead. Think about your future, make your goals, and come back to us with your questions and your goals. We will help you to find a way to realize this.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity to share. Thank you for all your engagement and question. Indeed, it's a case by case, so please reach out to Irina. Let us know your specific case, what you study, year you add, so we can then understand what are the opportunities, possibilities. But thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today.
Okay, thank you guys. Have a nice day or evening, depends where you are located. Thank you, Tanya. Enjoy your beautiful day in British Columbia.
Thank you so much.